Mr. Speaker, following request from community as well as our own survey, Ministry of Waterways survey, we have noted that there is a large number of secondary rivers that requires de-silting work, given that it is now posing threat to the communities living around, the infrastructure, agriculture. Mr. Speaker, we noted in the first phase, we noted 131 of these rivers, other than the larger ones that often we talk about, for example, Navua, Rewa, Lambasa, Gawa, Nendi, Ba, Tavua, the Nakawanda River and Rekireki. Mr. Speaker, as you know, 131 is a large number. We normally, about 150,000 cubic meters of silt that we would want to remove would cost us around $3 million. So what we thought that we need to come up with another model which will save a lot of government resources, and if we are able to come up with a model where we partner with the private sector. In this model, the Ministry of Waterways does the scoping at our own cost. Ministry of Waterways then lodges the screening application, pays the license fee to Ministry of Environment. Ministry of Waterways then, following the terms of reference from Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Waterways does the environmental management plan for de-silting. Ministry of Waterways then engages with the landowners for fishing rights waiver. Ministry of Waterways then lodges the application to Ministry of Lands for their approval to undertake the de-silting work. So Ministry of Waterways picks up all these costs, and then Ministry of Waterways advertises for potential private companies who would undertake the de-silting work, pay the royalty to the landowner through Ministry of Lands, and then take the material and sell it and keep the proceeds. So, Mr. Speaker, in the first phase, we were able to give out, just before the COVID-19, this round of COVID-19 set in, we were able to give out 27 rivers, 8 in the Western Division, 3 in the Central Division, and 16 in the Northern Division. Unfortunately, the Northern Division, all the contractors have started work. In the Western Division, only one contractor started work, and in the Central Division, none of the contractors were able to start work because of the lockdown. So, Mr. Speaker, we expect that once the lockdown, once we have control of a Central Division, it is open, that the contractors will then mobilize to the site to undertake the de-silting work. So the Central Division, none of the 3 places, one in Buambua, one in Doi, and Nambuka Vesi, these are the total of 17 kilometers that needs to be undertaking. We haven't started. Contracts awarded, everything okay. They were about to mobilize, but they couldn't. In the Western Division, Yangara, Salovi, Saru, Navulau, Narewa, Nakorotumbu, Nandele, Malakua, 20.1 kilometer. Only Malakua River was started, but that again halted. But in the Northern Division, the 4 contractors, all of them have mobilized, and the 4 contractors are sharing the 16 rivers amongst themselves. So, Mr. Speaker, we expect that once this pandemic is over, these contractors will start. While we are currently, we are now preparing for the remaining 104 sites that we are going through this process of undertaking the screening, terms of reference, environmental management plan, fishing rights waiver, and then we will take it to Ministry of Lands. So we are, for the different rivers, we are at a different stage with regard to this 104. So we expect that maybe in a couple of months' time, we will advertise for these 104 and engage contractors once we get the approval from Ministry of Lands. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, in fact, the entire River, we got about close to 24 operators operating, and that's why we have managed to minimize flooding or over spilling of the River 24/7 actually, well, not 7, 24/6 I would say. That's the level and volume of silt that is coming down from the catchments. Mr. Speaker, from the breach towards the river mouth, Honorable Kepa is saying that we haven't done for the last 10 years. That's not true. In fact, the dredger we had, 42-year-old dredger, which we have just boarded about last year, we had started dredging again about 3 years ago. We did that, but we, again, as I said, that siltation is taking place very rapidly because now agriculture is moving upward towards the catchment and a lot of silt is coming down. We are expecting a brand new dredger, thanks to government of Japan, and we were thinking that once that comes down, we can use that. But that part is a bit, certain parts of the year we cannot do dredging there because there is it's a breeding ground for hammerhead shark. So that's one of the reasons why delayed. But we're also looking at engaging a contractor. Not many contractors want to undertake dredging of that part because it does not have sand material. It has more clay, etc., which is not of interest to dredging companies. So we might have to do it ourselves. So I'm happy to come down and have a look at it when this thing is over, when the pandemic is over, and see whether there is an urgency in some parts, whether we can engage some other way, probably using a barge, an excavator to, if it is really an emergency. Thank you.
I thank the Honourable Minister.